Hello fellow musicians, welcome back to another video, and as you guys may know, there's going to be a Chronicles of Narnia Netflix reboot, and I'm not sure how I feel about that at the moment. Like, on one hand, part of me is looking forward to it, because I have such pleasant memories of the movies. Read the, I haven't read the books yet, but I've watched the movies and loved them. But I don't know how I feel about another reboot, because where it seems like we're in the age of reboots. Disney being the most known as for reboots, and most reboots I feel like nowadays are not as good as before. Like, for example, I really enjoyed the 2003 Ninja Turtles reboot, the 2012 Ninja Turtles reboot, the 1990 trilogy reboot, and even though the Michael Bay Turtles aren't as good as the 90s Turtles, I enjoy the Michael Bay Turtles reboot. But I don't know. And then we got the Lion King reboot that came out in 2019, and I disliked it more than I enjoyed it. And it's I want to be more excited, but I can't. And maybe this like I said, I have such good memories of the Chronicles of Narnia films. So I do hope that if Netflix does go through with the Chronicles of Narnia films, which it seems like they are, it definitely rivals the older ones that Disney did. Anyways, let's give this article a read, shall we? The perfect Chronicles of Narnia spin-offs that Netflix is looking for already happened 70 years ago, penned by the original author himself. Netflix plans for the series may finally have momentum now that they brought Greg Gerwig aboard to write and direct two Narnia films. Though Gerwig's past projects have focused largely on realistic characters and settings, her first foray into fantasy with the upcoming Barbie movie gives many fans reason to be excited for how Gerwig will approach the story of high fantasy. Narnia Netflix has wanted to reboot the Chronicles of Narnia, acquiring the rights in 2018, but they made no major announcements till now. In the 2000s, Disney produced film adaptations of two books from the series, and 20th Century Fox produced a third. The first two movies received largely positively. The first two movies received a largely positive reception, but the third film, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, failed to achieve the box office success necessary to continue making new films. Previously, adaptations may have stopped after 3 movies, but the Chronicles of Narnia has 7 books. In the series, there are still many untold stories that Netflix and Gerwig have the opportunity to bring to life. So the spin-off material Netflix is looking for could be The Horse and His Boy, The Magician's Nephew, and The Magician's Nephew, both written by C.S. Lewis. The Horse and His Boy was the 5th Chronicles of Narnia book to be published. It takes place during the 4 Pansy children time as King and Queen of Narnia, but features entirely new characters as the protagonists. The story features mainstays of the Narnia series that fans already love, like talking animals and high fantasy adventures. Adapting the books would grant Netflix an opportunity to develop new characters in a familiar world while also having appearances from beloved characters like Edward and Lucy. The Magician's Nephew, though, published fifth in the series, is actually a prequel to the entire series. The children in the story, through a series of fantastical instances of time travel, witness Aslan creating the world of Narnia. They even run into the villain of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the White Witch, and see how events play out said for the events of the first book. Adapting The Magician's Nephew would be another opportunity for Netflix to tell part of the Narnia story on screen the audience haven't seen before, allowing them to carve out their own space in the beloved series. So, will Netflix Chronicles of Narnia universe actually happen? The announcement that Greta Gerwig is writing and directing 2 Narnia films for Netflix is great. For Netflix is for fans of this. I can't read apparently. The announcement of Greta Gerwig is writing and directing 2 Narnia films for Netflix is great news for fans of the series. Gerwig's body of work is excellent. Her most recent film, Lady Bird and Little Women, were both Oscar nominated, and her upcoming film Barbie is the talk of the summer box office. Fans, old and new, can look forward to Gerwig's bringing her unique sense of humor and ability to craft deep relationships between characters of the story. Additionally, her Chronicles of Narnia reboot can learn from the 2000s movie and find ways for her adaptation to stand out. Netflix has every reason to finally get their Chronicles of Narnia universe off the ground. Audiences are experiencing a fantasy renaissance in television right now that studios, including Netflix, want to make the most of. With shows like The Wheel of Time, The Ring of Power, and The Witcher, if Netflix gives Gerwig the chance to shine, they could very well beat the success of Disney's Narnia movies from the 2000s. Whether Netflix decides to adapt The Horse and His Boy and The Magician's Nephew, or they can go in an entirely different direction, fans are eager for the return of Narnia. Now, I want to address, if my phone can actually work with me here, which I don't know why it's being put right now. There we go. I do want to address that part where it says, additionally, her Chronicles of Narnia reboot can learn from the 2000 movies. I did read this article about how, like, part of the reason, like, why worked against the previous incarnation of the Chronicles of Narnia on the big screen was the amount of time that had transpired from the first film to the second film, and the second film to the third film. Because the first film came out in like 2005, and the second film came out in 2008. So that's like what, 3 years in between the movies, and then 2005 to 2000 the second film came out the second film came out in 2008. Well, the third film came out in 2010, being 2 years. I feel if they made the original Narnia cast or production whatever team made the Narnia films back to back essentially and had them released yearly, kind of like how Harry Potter was, or even currently the MCU is with their movies, then I feel like they could have had a chance to complete all 7 books of the Chronicles of Narnia movies. But granted, in the world where we're getting reboots practically constantly, and some of those reboots are I don't know how I feel about another Chronicles of Narnia reboot. I'll give it a shot. I mean, to be fair, I'll give it a shot. And I'll be like, if I do a review of it, I'll definitely be honest. Whether it's a brutal honesty, or like if it's really good and I really enjoy it, I'll rave about it. But I don't know. I just am having trouble like getting real excited about another reboot in the era of reboots, and how like some of those reboots are like like most of the reboots I find like to be So I don't know. I wish them nothing but the best. Like I said, I'll at least give the first movie a shot. If the first movie's good or is keeps my interest, I'll try to give the second movie a shot. But until then, what do you people have to say? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. Be kind to one another. I will talk to you fellow mutants later.